Hi guys, I'm Shmi. We're up at the Snake in the canyons above Malibu, where we've got an amazing road and two pretty awesome cars. So as you know, while I've been out here in California, I've been driving in this orange Jaguar F-Type V6S convertible. We've had a lot of fun, had an amazing trip up to San Francisco, some brilliant roads, and thoroughly enjoyed driving the car. Well, thanks to Jaguar USA, I've now got this F-Type R to take on a test drive here as well. So the 550 horsepower supercharged V8, the flagship of the F-Type line, of course. The coupe looks astonishing. Well, the convertible looks pretty good too. So we're going to take a look at the two cars, take them down the road and back up, and see how they stack up against one another here at the Snake. First up then, the V6S, and naturally roof down because it is a gorgeous day. I'm very tied between the coupe and the convertible. I think the coupe has a slightly better look to it. I mean, when they first released the CX-16 concept, we were all blown away and thought that was astonishing, and it was a bit of a surprise when they launched the convertible car first. But on a day like this, with weather like this, in the roads around Malibu, it would be a crime not to be driving top down. And the first thing you're probably noticing is that this is one of the best sounding V6 engined cars in existence. It's a little bit artificial, but it is so amazing. It's glorious. I'm just driving on some particularly twisty roads at the moment with the gearbox in sport mode. It's an 8-speed ZF box in both cars, and it does the job brilliantly. It's not a double clutch, but it's right up there in terms of performance and ability. This car, 380 horsepower, 0 to 60 is about 5 seconds. But you've got all of that going on, and it pops and crackles like crazy. If I blip once with the paddles, we're then in sort of manual paddle mode, get closer to the red line, lift off, and you get all of that going on. But what you can immediately feel is that the car is so nimble and planted on these roads, and these are really tight and twisty. And it's something that, although we're not in the R right now, that does struggle a little bit to quite get around and manage all of this in the same way. But it's all about the noise. It's unbelievable. You're really comfortable sat in this car. It goes for both. They've done it so well, whether it's a long distance you're doing or whether it's just a really quick, you know, go around a track. You're so planted and you feel so comfortable at the wheel. And then up alongside a rock wall, you can do that and just listen to the car screaming away. It's a brilliant experience, and all the way up to San Francisco we had a great trip in this car. Really comfortable, whether we were doing the highway bits on the way back, and then obviously plenty of nice roads going up PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway. And although the boot's not the trunk is not the most plentiful amount of space in there, it's not exactly a massive problem. If you're used to supercars, it's perfectly fine. But all about the noise, and I absolutely love it. But the R, the V8, does that and a little bit more. It's probably going to be a little bit too much on the power side and weight side for this twisty road. Let's get back up there and have a go. Here we are in the F-Type R then. We've got that beast of a 550 horsepower V8. I can immediately feel though, going around the corners, that this takes a lot more work. You can feel that extra weight and the slightly different weight distribution. But then you've got that, which is absolutely astonishing. It kicks you in the back hard. You have so much extra power, there is no question. Well, you've got 170 horsepower more out of it. in this car. They've just released the R convertible as well, so then you'd get the open air experience and that extra kick in the back. But yeah, like I say, just on this incredibly twisty road, I can feel it's a little bit harder to get round, and that's the first thing. But the noise is truly insane, and we're just in the auto mode, so you know, as soon as I go into manual and I can lower the gears even more, we'll get even more noise out of it. But then against that, we will be getting through fuel like nobody's business. I know from previous experience that you can kill off a tank in this car in 100 miles with quite a lot of ease, and it's so addictive to be in the low gears that you actually want to do it all the time. I suppose swings and roundabouts, you win some, you lose some, right? So I've blipped in on the paddles. Let's get it up nearer that red line. Just get some of that noise. You don't get quite so much of a predictable crackle out of it as you do in the V6S, where pretty much every time you lift off it's just popping and banging away behind you. But when it does crackle, it's an incredibly loud and very cool noise that this car makes, and it just feels like a proper car. Right, here goes. Oh my gosh, this car is really quite something. That was mind-boggling. It's just addictive to keep going. I just want to keep going, never end. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to at some point, but the F-Type V6S is good. The V8R is epic. Back up top then, so some thoughts on the two cars, and there's no question the F-Type R is a serious beast. That is a proper car. There are loads of bikes here making tons and tons of noise, so sorry about that. But I think genuinely on that road where it's really twisty and you want a nimble car, this little V6S is actually the car of choice for that road, and that's what I've heard everyone say just before now, just as you guys probably have too, that the V6S is the car in the real world you want to have, and I don't disbelieve it. However, if you want the proper supercar, you're going to be in line for the F-Type R. And I think ultimately, if I was buying one of the two, that's probably where I would end up. So it's a massive thanks to Jaguar USA for letting me have this car and try it out on the roads like this. But not every day you get to drive back-to-back two spectacularly awesome cars on some very special roads. But awesome. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed a little input as to the two cars and get to see them right next to each other. It's pretty windy up here now, so I'll wrap it up there. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, check out all the other videos, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers! Also the Porsche 918 Spider. Key in, turn it on, you're immediately in E mode.